Hello, welcome to West Ham Confidential on Irons United with me, Alf Gasparo. So, what's been happening in the West Ham world this week? Well, the hot topic of the last 24 hours, let's say, has been this new app, this new platform that has been developed or is being developed called SOCIOS or socios.com, and they're launching an app just before the start of the season so that fans can vote on club issues. What this means essentially that fans will have to either be gifted, they're called tokens, I'll get into this in a moment, fan tokens, or they'll have to buy them. And basically there'll be a series of polls throughout the season, which the club will dictate which polls on what issues are relevant, and then fans can vote on them. So the idea is that the club, through this intermediary, this Socios, can engage with the fans, and then the fans can have their say, all well and good. However, you have to pay for that privilege. So, you know, this is the first sticking point. Now, I can see what the club are trying to do here. They're trying to say, okay, we need to engage with the fans. We need to have a more representative connection with the fans, a tangible connection, and something that we can actually have as data as well. Not something that it's he said, she said. It's more of a, this is an official poll, this is an official reaction to a suggestion or some issue that's within the club, and then we can take that information away and then act upon it. What they've done, however, as a lot of businesses do these days, they outsource that information gathering, and that's basically what this Socios is. It's an intermediary. It's a company that's been set up to hopefully attract other football clubs as well, to act as this go-between between the club and the fans. What do I feel about it? I feel that it's another level of marketing, another layer that actually we just don't need. Regardless of the price, regardless of how much you have to pay or how much you don't have to pay, you know, there's another layer that we don't need. I think possibly what the club should have done in this regard is say, okay, if we need to engage with the fans and have proper engagement and proper reaction with certain issues, then this could all be done quite easily on the website, or it can be done via social media, or bring this all in-house. Now, I've been a long critic of the digital media side of the club, in terms of their website, in terms of their social media, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, that kind of thing, and their sort of YouTube channel as well. I think everything could just be ramped up, be a little bit more professional. The website is quite often out of date. They're a little bit slow in producing content. Whereas, the gossip stuff on Twitter and Instagram, they're kind of quite quick on it. And I think this is another aspect of that. I think they could actually bring this in-house and actually have this quite easily, and it would all be for free, and they would have instant reaction. So that's one part. I don't think they needed to outsource it. Having to pay for it, whilst I'm looking at the socios.com website here, and I've got all the information, how it's going to work and everything. And basically this is it. You're going to sign up to their app, which is going to launch in what they call Q3, third quarter, which is basically just before the start of the season. And you're going to have to buy cryptocurrency. And all this can be done through the app. Okay, now the maximum you can spend is 100, whatever it is, whatever their cryptocurrency is. And, it's a bit like Bitcoin, but it isn't. It's their own one. And then a portion of that you're going to have to spend on a fan token. Now, this one token will enable you to vote forevermore on all the polls, all the questions asked by the club. Now, the club dictate which polls, which questions they have to abide by the fan decision, or that they don't. They don't have to. It's like they just want to gauge fan opinion. So actually, there's no reason why the club should be held accountable by any of these polls. All they have to do is just put out loads of polls and say, what do you think about this new kit? Good, not good. Good, not, that kind of thing. What do you think of this? I don't know. New flags that we were bringing around the side of the pitch before the game. Good, not good. That kind of thing. If they really want to be held accountable, they could say, okay, do we need to increase the fan park? Yes or no, type thing. If that's a yes, okay, then they'll be held accountable to that. But it doesn't really state who's going to hold them accountable. Where is it legally binding to say that they have to be accountable for this fan decision on their poll? It smacks of being very wishy-washy and lots of marketing jargon, marketing speak, just to try and get fans to get onto this app, buy this app probably. It doesn't actually say whether you have to buy the app as yet, and it doesn't actually say how much each fan token will be, but it does say that fans can buy multiple fan tokens, but it doesn't say as yet what the ceiling of that limit will be. So they even say on here, let's say if you bought 10 fan tokens, you can vote 10 times on a particular issue. Well, actually, if you want to gauge fan reaction, that should be outlawed first of all. That shouldn't be allowed. It should be one man, one woman, one child, one vote. One fan, one vote. Okay, it should be one fan token. If you're going to charge people to have this, that is just one. It's just one purchase. How much is it going to be? Is it £10, £20, £100 worth? In their cryptocurrency. What is it? We just don't know. What's going to happen in the future? So it's all basically you'll buy your fan token, and as long as there is a relationship between SOCIOS, this provider, this intermediary, and the club, then that money that you have with them is valid. As soon as there is a breakup in that relationship, then you lose your money, or they're not saying if that money will be reimbursed to you, so it probably won't. You'll probably lose your money. So you're paying for the privilege to have a vote on club issues when you don't really need to pay for that. You're also potentially allowing certain fans to buy more tokens or be given free tokens, because they're saying there's going to be special ways of be given free tokens, if you engage with the app a lot more, with the platform a lot more. So basically what they're trying to do is not only get your money for the privilege of voting, they also want to get your engagement, want to get your attention. They're going to take your attention off Twitter, off EastEnders, off Coronation Street, or off Instagram, or whatever it is, YouTube, whatever it is, and they're going to say, we want you to come to our app. Now, this is exactly the same what happened, let's say, about 4 or 5 years ago with TalkSport. TalkSport, they did exactly the same thing. They fell out with Twitter. Or certain DJs fell out with Twitter. I think it was Stan Collymore in particular fell out with Twitter over some remarks that had been said. So basically they started promoting this new football app, and it was kind of going to be a social media footballing app, that kind of thing. And they were on about this for months and months until they repaired their relationship with Twitter, and then all of a sudden they dropped that and went back to Twitter promoting Twitter. Because let's face it, it's the biggest sort of social media thing for this kind of fan engagement type thing. So this could happen exactly to this SOCIOS and a West Ham relationship. We could all buy into this, saying, yeah, we could have a say on club matters and everything. It's one fan, one vote, which isn't, because you could have one fan having multiple votes, which isn't fair. But then, where does that lead us? Where does that lead us in the future security of, our money, our fan tokens, our investments? And is it going to be legally binding? Whatever we say, whatever we vote on, and will the club take any notice? And what kind of issues are they going to present before us? Are they going to be nonsense issues that nobody really cares about, or are they going to be real issues? Let's say like the state of the stadium. Are we going to buy the stadium, or should we buy the stadium? Should we increase our transfer budget? That kind of thing. What will it go to? Will it go to, should we buy this player or sell this player? That kind of thing. Should we sack the manager? Should we get this new manager? Whatever it is, it really depends what kind of decisions or polls or questions they're going to ask. And they're just not providing that information right now. So as a fan, I'm thinking, well, why would I want to do this? Why would I want to even engage with an app that is claiming so much, this marketing line that's claiming so much, but actually doesn't really deliver or hasn't really had the opportunity to deliver yet? On the face of it, it seems all above board in that it's an app, it's a platform, you can engage with it or not. You can buy, it's up to you whether you buy the fan tokens, whether you invest your money, whether it is 50, £100 into this for this ability to be able to vote on anything you want. It's up to you as whether you want to have multiple votes or a single vote. But I just don't think we need it. I just don't think the club needs to do this. And I think there are much better ways for the club to engage with the fans and actually have an engagement process that is not predicated on the fans having to spend money. If they want to bring in data, if they want to actually look at fan reaction, whatever, they just need to go on social media for us now. They need to just have these polls, let's say, on their own Twitter feed, or go to whatever on their YouTube, whatever that is. Improve that fan reaction. They're introducing another layer, or they're engaging with the SOCIOS to introduce another layer of marketing that we just don't need. Who is this actually aimed at? Which fan is it actually aimed at? Is it aimed at me? Middle-aged, bald, overweight kind of guy who, that kind of thing? Or is it, or even older? Let's say, really older fans, who past retirement age, who still really, want to go to the games. Is it aimed at the fans that only go to the games now? Or is it aimed at the fans who go to home and away? Is it aimed at fans that actually never have the opportunity to go to games anymore? Because what they're basically saying is that we only want to have fans. Fans will have their say, the ones that engage the most, the ones that interact with the club the most, or whatever it is. Well, you can be a lifelong West Ham fan, and I've known many, and I've one myself, but that doesn't mean that over my whole life I've had the opportunity or had the ability to be able to go to games or to be able to engage, so on and so forth. 20 odd years ago, 25 years ago, I was living abroad. I lived abroad for a few years. It was very hard to actually get information abroad and to get, to be able to gauge on a daily basis with what was going on in the club. So I kind of, whilst I felt really very tight and very close to my club, I also felt very distant because, I just couldn't get that information and I couldn't see the club. Then financial issues might, deter or stop certain fans being able to go to games, not only getting tickets, but also going to, travelling distances, so on and so forth. We know the score. We don't have to explain this to anybody. Some fans have the let's say the determination or the privilege to be able to go to games, both home and away. Some can only go to home games. Some can only go to a certain amount of games a year. Some may only be able to go to one. Others may not be able to go at all. That, in my book, that doesn't make you a lesser fan. But this here, this SOCIOS, is kind of implying that the more you engage with it, the more fans that readily go to games and so on and so forth, the more you engage with this next generation of social media type thing, this digital interface, the better the fan you're going to be. I'm sorry, that's an insult. That's an insult to fans who have been lifelong fans for, they've been fans longer than a lot of fans have been alive. What's to say that this SOCIOS, can say to a fan who's not digitally aware, who's not digitally savvy, to say, well, your vote doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore because it's only the new kids who can grasp all this, who are willing to pay for this, who don't have any dependents, don't have any other money concerns. That's all the opinions we care about. It's wrong. There is something not quite right with their thinking here, and there's something not right with the thinking of the club if they think this is okay. For me, it's not about the money, and it's not about the actual app per se, because if it's up to you, it's up to you as an individual fan whether you want to buy this app or use this app. Okay, it's not clear how much this is going to cost. It's up to you as a fan whether you want to buy a fan token. We don't know how much that's going to be. But it's up to you also if you even want to vote on these issues. Okay, that's entirely up to you. There's a lot of your choice. But they're putting a system in place where this is going to be your only choice to vote on certain issues. Could be man of the match, could be hammer of the year, could be, we don't know. We don't know what it is. They're just putting forward this idea right now. So I don't believe that this is the right way to go. I don't, whilst it's your choice to engage with it or not, you may not have any other option if you really want to try and engage with the club. And I think it's going to feed off people's, that need to want to engage with the club, to want to find out as much information as possible, and to want to feel part of the club and feel closer to the board. It's going to feed off them. It's going to sucker them into spending money when they don't need to spend it. As I say, I think there are much better and much easier ways to do it. I think the club just need to step up their own digital presence, their website, their social media, their YouTube channel. Step it up, make it more accessible and easier to, to access. They possibly need to look at their relationship between all the social media groups, all the fan groups, let's say, and say, okay, well, one certain fan group or one supporters group is not representative of all fan groups. You can't say that a certain fan group in a particular area, just because they shout the loudest or they have the biggest social media presence, let's say, are representative of all fans. Let's say you're watching this video now and I do not represent all the fans out there. I do not represent our 2,500 subscribers or whatever it is. I do not represent, 10 subscribers. We're here to give you information and hopefully provide some entertainment as well. So any platform or any group saying we represent our members, we represent, the fan base, you can't say that. So it's exactly the same here with this SOCIOS app. Let's say you get 1,000, 2,000, 40,000, 50,000 people, let's say fans, signing up for this. Okay, and they pay their fan tokens. Are you telling me that they are representative of fans, West Ham fans? They're not. They're not representative of West Ham fans, because West Ham fans are a lot more than that. Because there are fans of every club are all around the world who just don't go to games, but they're still fans. They're still supporters. We're not going to have the debate of whether you're a fan, whether you're a supporter and all that nonsense. As far as I'm concerned, if you've got claret and brew, on your skin, in your body, that's it. You're a fan. You're a supporter, So your vote is your opinion is as valid as mine. I'm not frustrated. I might come across as being frustrated, but I'm really disappointed in this app. I'm really disappointed in the direction the club are going with this. To say that actually we're going to put all our faith in this app to gather information on fan engagement when it's not really identifying all the fans out there. Okay, it's a much easier way to do it. Let's say if you just want to do it with season ticket holders, okay, you can do that. Okay, right, we're just going to give the vote to only season ticket holders. Okay, I don't agree with it, but I could buy into that kind of thing. Because you could say, well, these are the ones who are coming in every week. Right, just send them an email. Just send them an email and say, right, we want your vote on this. Okay, or anybody, their whole database who's ever bought a ticket, or the whole database, because you must have a client reference to be able to buy tickets, off the ticket exchange, for example, or claret members, or whatever it is. That database of names of fans, Just have a look at that. Or anybody who's ever bought anything from the shop. It's modern technology. You're going to have a database of names. Just send out block emails of, asking people for their vote. That will be easier fan engagement. It doesn't take a lot of effort. It doesn't take a lot of investment. But this is classic outsourcing, classic getting another middleman to come in and say, how can we earn a little bit of money here? That's what I don't like. It's not representative of the fans, and it's just adding another layer to get people to part with their money when they don't have to, regardless of how much it is or how cheap it will be or how expensive it will be. That's not the issue. The issue is it doesn't represent fans. It's taking money out of fans where they don't need to. And anyway, I've probably rabbited on for too long here. You can probably guess what my thoughts are on this SOCIOS app. Whilst I think it's above board, as I say, I want to reiterate that. I've had a read through extensively about this. I just don't think, and there's quite a complicated process to, once the app is launched, you get your cryptocurrency, you buy your fan token, so on and so forth. The problem is nothing is set in stone. So, as I say, it doesn't appear, or you won't be able to gather all fans. You won't be asking the right questions. It isn't legally binding. There's so many questions about this. Where is the money going to go if there's a relationship breaks down? It's, the other club really going to hold themselves accountable to this? I don't think they will. I think it's just going to be a waste of time, and it's going to be a fad that comes in, maybe stays for about a year, a few months, a year, a couple of years, whatever it is, and then just sort of dissolves into the ether, just like everything else. That's my opinion, and I'm certainly not trying to, tell you guys what you should think or how you should think. But there is this. I'll put the link in the description below for the socios.com fact page, so you can read all this information yourself. Make your own judgment. Make your own, form your own opinion. Let us know in the comments below what you think as well. And what you think about it. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? What are the pros and cons? Have I missed anything? Am I not seeing something that you guys are seeing? Because, it's an opinion at the end of the day. And that's all it is. This is just an opinion. And, if a club want to engage with fans, engage with opinion, they should start looking at, people who are producing content for a start. Because we're talking with the fans, we're getting fan reaction. Don't even look at us, look at, the comments that people are making. Look at social media. You can gauge opinion, but based upon that. This just seems like lazy data gathering. This just seems like another way just to get money out of fans unnecessarily. Anyway, hope you found that useful. Hope you found that of value. As I say, leave comments below. Let me know what you think. And subscribe to Irons United. They're really cool. And catch you on the next West Ham Confidential, whenever that is. And, hopefully I'll see you at a game very soon. I don't know.